Welcome to Natural Habitat Adventures Daily Dose of Nature. I'm your host, Brooke Mitchell, and today's webinar is A Wild Winter Safari Tales from Grand India, presented by Nat Hab Expedition Leader Arpita Dutta. Thank you so much for being here today, Arpita. Over to you.
Thank you, Brooke. Thank you for that amazing introduction. I really like, and I forgot to even put like the topic on the face. I mean, on this page because look at the people's face. It's so charming, and they all are so happy. I just kept on looking at them, and I always feel that the connection we build between the guest who visits here and the people, and every time, like whenever giving webinar, the connection I build with the people behind that screen, it's always amazed me. So here, everybody, welcome. Thank you so much for tuning in today for the Grand India Wildlife Adventure. And the trip I have just finished on 20th Jan and came back. And while having a webinar, I thought that with the fresh ideas and fresh memories, let me present that to you with little more what we have done, and especially about the stories we have found over there. Like it was an amazing, it's a winter trip, so it's very different. The animals were different, but gradually go towards it. So here, just to give you a little idea about it, is for that we start the thing from Delhi, and from Delhi it's we cover central India mostly, where you see on the right hand side, you see where my cursor is. Here is the state. So here we cover two national parks, and then we fly to the northeastern part of India, and we covered our last and the final national park there, and from there we come back to Delhi. So this is like a circle route we follow. And so this area is also a biodiversity hotspot area in India. And then what we are gonna do after we get to Delhi, we first visit Bandhavgarh National Park, one of the very oldest and very famous for their tiger population. And not only tiger, Bandhavgarh, like conservation effort, the landscape, oh my God, it's stunning. I mean, it's not I'm doing a webinar or I just saying it. Whenever I go, like I've been going to that forest since maybe 2013, and till date I find when I see into the forest, like the jungle, I feel the same excitement. It seems like there they there the connection is there. It's immensely strong, and I find every day something new in the forest. That's the best part. When you are out in nature, nothing is like a repeat. Everything is surprising in the next day morning. So yeah, we start from Bandhavgarh, and then we go to Kanha National Park. So these two national parks are located in India, central part of India. And the third one we go is Kaziranga National Park, and this is our final national park we visit. And also this national park, this Kanha and Kaziranga, these two national parks are really close to my heart, very close. And then what we do there, like just a very brief note on it, is so in total we how many like safaris we have done. Okay, so we have done together in, I'm talking about this Grand India safari, Grand India adventure what we did. So we had done 13 game drives, one night game drive in the buffer zone, one buffer walk, and one boat ride. So, like altogether, quite a good amount of activities within that days. And mostly we do the game drive in this kind of vehicles, just to give you a headshot. So, after that, we did. So in central India, the tribes over there are Baga and Gond. These are the two. So we celebrate one with them, a Baga night. Like they come here, they present their ritual dance and singing, and it's so rhythmic that your toe starts moving, and sometimes they come to you and ask you to join. It's very difficult because I can't even move my waist, but you kind of get into that rhythm. So you can see there we had an amazing night out there. There is the dancers over there, and here you see them with a very colorful dresses, and we were enjoying that. And with that, because it's a tribal area, so we visited somebody's house over there who is a tribe from there, and the village over there. So how do they live, what do they do, how they earn, where they store their food, where they keep their clothes, even the firewood, where they keep it, how they make bricks. Over here you can see that there are bricks. This man over here where my cursor is, Veed, he makes all these bricks over here. And let me tell you, this time when we went there, we saw there is a name MA is written, like printed on that brick. And when we asked him that what is it, like why is this MA, and he said that's my daughter's full name initial, so I'm making this brick on the name of my daughter. And we were so happy to hear that. Yeah, so we all had a great time at Veer's place. uh this lady, old lady, what is she, see in pink sari, so she's the like the head of the family, and she was also showing us around their vegetable like farming area, and a lot of things. So yes, after that we start, like we have few transfers, just like from the airport we land in after, from Delhi is called Jabalpur, and from there we go to Bandhavgarh. After we do all the drives, then we go to Kanha. So in all these in between the transfers, whenever we get a chance that we can see some wildlife, some wilderness, which can be captivating and it's exciting, so we kind of get down there. And the same thing happened here this time as well, that on the way to Kanha from Bandhavgarh, there is a big lake, or rather in the side there is more like a vegetative lake is there. So of course a lot of migratory birds have landed there, and we had few birders this time in our group, serious birders. And when we got down there, almost we have got near about 15 species of uh, feathered friends. And after that, we didn't stop. Again, there are a few places where the fruit bats, the giant fruit bats, or it's also called the flying fox, and there's a big colony over there. Like almost there are 5, 6 eucalyptus trees and a mango tree where they have been staying there for many years. And so we stopped there, we found them okay in good light, and we saw their activity. And I'm so happy that all the guests actually found them really cute. I mean, whenever you say that, oh my God, this flying foxes, the bats are really nice. I mean, they look like a small puppy. And, but when the guest are saying that they are happy, it's a different joy you feel inside for sure. And after that, so we start for this, and then for the one buffer walk we did. So let me tell you before going further, this is called Bumni Buffer Walk, which happens in Kanha National Park. And the day where you see us in the evening, just a day before the day we went, there were people who were walking there, and they were taking a video while walking. And then they didn't even know in front Suddenly they realized when they were checking the video, like when they came back, they were checking, suddenly they saw something passed. And then they focused, zoomed, and they found it's a tiger. So it's not like the buffer walk, you are just walking in the trail, but in this trail, and even when we were walking, we have found many fresh tiger pug marks. And also we have followed a stream, and in that and along with us there were tiger pug marks, and we were doing an evening walk. So we had to reach like quickly to the end so that we can just finish the entire thing before it gets dark. Of course, but we all are nature lovers. We all are naturalists. We have that naturalist instinct inside us. And even if we come across very teeny tiny stuff, we cannot just escape. Okay, we are getting late. We have to escape. It seems like, oh, let me show what it is. And you know what we were taking pictures of is just it's a very small caterpillar. But it was so camouflaged with a dried leaf that it was very fascinating, and everybody got into it. So yeah, after that we started walking, and then after a while our local guide from there asked us, just whisper, don't even talk, um, and don't even talk, and just keep your bags. There should not be any colorful bags on your thing, just keep it on the ground, tuck yourself down, and come very quietly. That don't put your feet on dead leaves or dried leaves so that it doesn't make that crunchy sound. And we have been thinking, okay, that sounds good. And we started, going like that. It seems like something big is waiting for us. And yes, it was. There was a den where there were wild dogs with their pups. And for for here in India right now, because of the fragmentation of the forest, how the forest patches are becoming like a pocket, because they need a lot of place, they need a big habitat, because they are pack hunters and they don't have their territory. They just go from one place to another. So nowadays, because of the loss of habitat, we don't see a big pack anymore. Like very, very rare. And I hope after coming over here, what we saw, and I hope that it these kind of packs should sustain. We have, like, we could see 6 adults, and we saw 8 pups over there. But Aditya has his next our another EL. He has his next he's actually on the Grand India trip right now. So he posted there were like 12 pups over there, and I think 8 or 9 adults were there. So that's a huge sign, because it's an endangered species. WWF, WCS, a lot of international NGOs and national NGOs are working on it to see how things are going, like monitoring, checking on them. So getting this species in the walk, and that is also in such a way, was a big highlight for the walk. And then for the birders, we left the wild dogs and the pups out there, and then we headed towards the river. And there we found that there was a call coming, which is a flycatcher call. And then it just we waited there, and there was Asian paradise flycatcher, which were just coming from stooping down from a branch and just drinking water and going back. Imagine this teeny tiny bird. The bird ends here. Look at the size of the tail. Imagine it were touching the surface of the water and just flying away. It was looking like an angel just right over there. Um, so yeah, for birdies, imagine it was a like a game on kind of a sighting. So yeah, these two were the pretty big highlight during that walk. And so these all we have done: the beggar night, the village visit, this amazing buffer walk, and Also, we did night safari as well, but we don't have any night safari picture. But we have come across sloth bear in the night safari and some spotted deers. But now we were actually talking about the winter morning, and central India in winter is always my favorite time to be there. It's not for how many sightings you are having, it's about how the sightings are happening. Um, maybe I mean, maybe summer is good time when we say that you see a lot of like good good sighting, but in winter it is always beautiful sightings. Imagine you are entering the park, and the fog, how it is like, you know, I mean, it's just like a veil, on the grassland. The more, as far as you can see, it's fine, but after that it looks like a painting, in a just a pencil and paper sketch behind it. So, and the animals are quiet. You can see all these are hard ground barasinga. You only see it in Kanha National Park, nowhere else in the world. So imagine they are on the grass, the antlers are coming popping up from it, and this beautiful mist. It's just stunning. I mean, it just build an amazing story. Of course, I mean, I can keep talking about how beautiful, how the grass tips look, because in winter it almost get frost on the grass. And this first sunlight when it's coming through, you can see those like sparkling water droplets on the top. And in that, when the animals move or sit, they look fascinating. And in winter, animals do have a different coat, like the winter coat, which is more brighter or thicker. So they look very big, healthy, and of course they look stunning all the time. And the best part in winter morning is this dapple sunlight, because central India is 70% covered with the sal tree, which you see here. These are little thinner, but they're huge sal trees, and they almost cover the entire like area beside your tracks. And when the sunlight is falling through it, it's just magical. It create a lot of drama out there. And because it's a winter morning, even that much of sun's touch makes a lot of difference. You just feel amazing to be out over there. But now, what are the else we have found it? First, let me just let me show you all. So we have come across spotted deer, and this is a very common deer in central India. You will get to see, but they could be common, but they're one of the beautiful deer in central India and many other places in India. And then this is the barking deer. It is much smaller, a solitary one, and barking was given the name because when it get distress, like see a predator, it actually barks like a dog. It's really like around to be 2 a.m. in India. I should not like do the call because otherwise I don't know what people would think about that. So I'm just keeping that part. And then we have this sambar, one of the largest deer in Asia. And then we have found these hard ground parasingas. And then we have an antelope, which is a black buck. Again, another rare to see it, but we got to see that. And then we have found few bigger herbivores and the smaller deer as well. So this is the water buffalo. This water buffalo and this hog deer we find in the northeastern part, like we found it. And this is called gore, which is the largest in the bovidian family. Look at the hump over here and the dewlap. Like, what a handsome male he is. And we also found the nilgai. We call this blue bull. Of course, very stylish and very elegant in how it looks. So yeah, these are the few herbivores we have come across normal. And then our I'm just sharing few of our sighting stories. Okay, so the first day in Bandhavgarh, we had a very short time because the time we have reached our first national park, it was really late. And we just quickly had our lunch and straight we headed to the park gate. So that day was the to enjoy the scenic beauty, to enjoy the park. And yeah, that time the adrenaline and that excitement, the sense of adventure were really kicked in hard because we have come across few tiger footprints and some activities, but we haven't seen it because we have only 1 hour, one and a half hour left inside the park. But imagine, how does it feel like, okay, so the existence is there, we are going to see it tomorrow, the thing was like that. So we have spoke a lot about this tiger, the conservation and everything. So next day everyone is out like early in the morning when it is already like it was almost dark around 5 in the morning, and we went inside the forest. After a while, when it was nearly becoming sunny, the sun could lift the fog up, and we suddenly hear the spotted deers and the langurs were giving alarm calls together. And it was a non-stop call. And then we followed it, and then everything was quiet. And we just waited that let's see what happens, because sometimes the predator, like when they know there are a lot of disturbances coming, they kind of sit somewhere and they gradually stop calling. And we said, okay, we will wait. Even it's nice to be in the forest, we will wait. After 10-15 minutes again the call started, and then and but it is from a little farther distance. We went immediately, and within not even couple of minutes, a tigress just walking with a lot of rage and attitude in her physique, like how she's walking. Then we looked through the binocular. First, she was little far. We looked through the binocular, and the way she was walking, like crouching, so she was on a hunt. She was targeting a deer, but the spotted deer saw her, so they start giving this alarm call. Okay, she passed. We again wait, like we thought that we will be here because she went there, she might come, or just we were trying to calculate the whole thing. After 5 minutes or 10 minutes, she again came back in that same ground where she knows there are a lot of movements of the deer, so that he can do the. If you see it, this is how she was walking when they got to see her. And look at her, she's just standing right here because this is the ground on the right, and she was just somewhere. And look at the face, like she was focused, you know Okay, so this is our first tiger sighting happened in Bandhavgarh, and that is also for almost 15-20 minutes. And for tiger sighting, that's a huge, yeah. In between, she was behind the bush and thing, but the entire story happened for almost 15-20 minutes. And then that day, in the afternoon, like afternoon drive, we thought that okay, she was over there and she had some big litter, like they are grown up, almost they are about to disperse. So they are there. She was trying to go for a hunt. So entire story was happening there. So the afternoon drive we took, we went in that area itself. And now what we saw, look at this. This is daughter. And she, just because she's young, of course, almost 15-16 months old, so she just crossed like this, almost see her three like foot are up on the ground, only one is touching. And then this is our vehicle, this one and this one. We all were waiting, and I have the video, but somehow I couldn't put the video over here. I will upload it soon. If you want to see, you can see it. So the this one, you see the jumping, it exactly happened in front of our vehicle. Like, I was standing opposite, so, and these two vehicles are ahead, so they have seen crossing from there, and I have seen the tiger and our guest together. I have the video of that. And in front, there were her son, the male. He crossed the track. So imagine, in that area there were like three tigers, and this female were literally like, you can hear her growling, because you can see them. Hearing them is a tough job, but we could hear that day, I mean, her growling that day as well. So, and as soon as she started growling, these two just jumped, went to the track, and just went inside the bush. Yeah, but it was a great sighting. It was a great story. You see their behavior. That's typically like how the big cat behave out there. This is one sighting we had of the female, which is amazing. We had few more, but this is the first one. Then the second sighting happened in Kanha National Park. Okay, so there were like some movement. This is the second national park I'm talking about. And we have been moving, and you know what, tigers, they do have their territory. Like, they are very territorial and solitary animals. They don't allow even other tigers, or male or female, to come to their territory just like that. Like, they definitely defend their territory. And just like we, wherever we go for a walk, like work, but we come back home. For tigers also, it's the same thing. They just patrol their territory, but they just, I mean, wherever they go, they just come back home. That's the thing. So we know kind of that this is the territory of this tiger. So that tiger must be in and around this area. And so according to that, and as well as how the jungle is responding, that means how the animals, other animals, are giving distress calls. Following that call and the tracks of the tiger, how fresh or how old it is, when it passed this area last time, so all this calculation keeps going, and then we take a call that which way we are going. Sometimes they make us fool as well. So the thing is, what happened, we were like looking around for the tigers and thing, and it was nice. It was definitely amazing. We have come across a lot of animals, but then at the end, the vehicle I was in, I was thinking that okay, we have been enough like moving, to seeing the tracks, just looking for it, but somehow we unable to reach it, because wherever we are going, the call stops. Like, when we are on the go, the call stops and everything, and it's all the cloud of dust around. So I just told my guests that I think that we should enjoy the forest. So are you guys okay if I take a long route and just see the forest, because I know other vehicles won't go there. So I said that let's take a chance, not for the tiger, but just to enjoy. And it's unbelievable. We were crossing. We have taken the long route to come out from the gate, and suddenly there was only two calls and very short one, and this huge male tiger came out from the thick bush on the track, showing all its behavior, like sniffing, scratching, doing that phlegm response, everything in front of us. And we were the only vehicle on that track. Generally, when there is a sighting happen, there are quite a few like jeep, or the the gypsies, they come together because they can also listen to those calls and follow the tracks and stuff. But that time we were the only vehicle to see the smell. And when I showed the picture to one of the naturalists in the lodge, he said that it is a new male in that area. So we just need to figure out which male it is. But it was huge. You can see like the full belly. Look at the girth of the shoulders. You can imagine the size of that big cat out there. But because we have taken a long route, we didn't have much time. So we actually left the tiger, and we took some pictures and videos, and guests have also taken some amazing pictures of that flame and response and stuff. And then we had to leave because it is very like we have to be very punctual on that. It's very strict, the Central India's park. So we left. And just the funny story is, uh, when we were leaving, the tiger just turned its neck with our, movement of the vehicle. It seems like he was surprised as well. That most of the time, whenever he's there, there are vehicles and stuff, nobody leaves. And here he's there and we are leaving. I mean, this is just my thought of inspiration. Yeah, I mean, interpretation, sorry. Yeah, so this is our first male sighting over this happened. Now when I was talking about there's only single vehicle sighting, um but then we have two more vehicles. So they were all NHA group has like three vehicles. Those two vehicles were having the single vehicle sighting, only our NHA guest, no one else was there. So there was a female um out there who came out, and she just sat on the road and she was not even leaving. Like, she was just relaxed. She came out and she lay down on the road. So imagine our three NHA vehicle had amazing sighting without being in the crowd. And I mean, once you come down, you would understand this forest is so different than Africa, than any other place. Like how the wildlife viewing happens, it's totally different. And that excitement, I mean, I was so excited. And I wish I could, capture those moment, those smiles, those laughter, what I saw in the guy's face, because it's not only seeing the tiger, it's like how we have seen the tiger. We had no idea. We just wanted to enjoy the forest. And actually, most of the time, it happens that we want to stay away from the crowd and we got to see it. So, yeah, this was a splendid one. And the next one, this is another male. So next day morning we went for a long drive, but we didn't come across any sighting. And on the on the morning for the next, like in that morning, we had a different gate. We went. So in the other gate in the morning, this tiger has been seen. So in the afternoon drive, we decided that we will first head to that area where it has been seen last. And imagine, we reached and we saw the tiger was sleeping like this. There were few vehicles which were looking at it, keeping a good distance. But look at him. It's a different male. It's known as Pattawala. So over here, look at the legs stretched. Like it doesn't even bother, like least bothered that we are here, we are watching it. So yeah, this was, and thank god it was taking a nap in the morning, so it didn't get up and we could see it in our afternoon drive. So it just got up for a bit, but its eyes are closed, and then again he went back to sleep. So this was another beautiful chance. Like it's great that we got to see another big male out there, and again we all our vehicles have seen it. Next one. Okay, so it's a little weird caption. The P tiger sighting. Okay, there is a reason behind it. Uh, two of a vehicle. One vehicle was waiting for a female called DJ9. She made a kill, And then we all were actually waiting for her, that female, to come out. And then I had to pee. Like, I badly need to go to pee. So I just said, okay, by the time she comes out, we'll go to the washroom and we'll come back quickly. And our another vehicle went before me, again for the same reason, because one of the guests had to go to the washroom like urgently. So they went there. They have done. They were coming back, and I was on the way to the washroom. And suddenly I saw five spotted deer with their tail up. They just leaped so high that they almost crossed the entire track, which has almost 7-8 feet in between, 10 to 12 feet in between. And they just jumped and they just went with the frightening leap. And there was one langur sitting up on the tree and giving alarm calls, looking at a place. And we all looked through. Of course we stopped. Then you don't remember that your bladder is already like full when this kind of situation happens. So of course, for a moment, um, we were just focused on the call. And then we saw our other vehicle was coming in. So, and after a while, we were all looking at that side where the langur was looking at. Um, After a while, I turned back and I saw a tiger was walking right behind us. Like, she was little far, but she was walking right behind us. I mean, the langur was calling, looking at a different place, and she just came out. She's a nursing mother, and as well as, I mean, again, it's only our two vehicle. No one else were there. And because this sighting actually happened because of our pee stops, um, because otherwise nobody left that place, because they were thinking that the DJ9 I was talking about, is that female is about to come out, but she didn't. So it was, that's why we just named this sighting. And it's not only I have given the name, like, we as a team, with the guest and I and the guides, uh we have given this name, like, I mean, the P tiger sighting. Anyway, can you just give me a moment? Just, sorry. Yeah. Huh. Sorry, my battery was getting low. Suddenly, I noticed. Yeah. So this thing happened, and then we both the vehicles were there, and suddenly we she went into the bush, and then we got a smell, that rotten, the carcass. It's a fresh carcass, and because it's winter, it takes time to rot. But we got the smell, and she was pulling that carcass away, so we could see the movement in that bush, but we couldn't see the tiger anymore. But you can get the smell. You can see that where the smell is, from which place, from where the wind is blowing it. So it was the entire thing that she made a kill. She kept her food over there, and now she came back on that side, and she's taking it away from that area to feed or rest. So yeah, so this female's sighting happened because of that thing. So yeah, it was we then we started laughing a lot uh, after we were done. So yeah, with the next one, um, yeah, but we had so many tiger sightings, good tiger sightings, like beautiful tiger sightings. And but I think in this trip, um, these jackals, the golden jackal has stolen the entire show. Like, we have come across more, sometimes we do come across a lot of jackals, but either they're walking or just lying down, lazy sleep, all this. But this time, some amazing things has happened. Uh, in my vehicle, I didn't see it. Only one vehicle of our got to see it, which is very unusual. I mean, very rare sighting. I would say very rare. These golden jackals actually hunted down a big spotted deer. It was little cruel. I mean, when the guest was telling us, but that is how nature works. Generally, jackals, they kind of, wa- do they're very opportunist. Like if a tiger made a kill and they can get a chance to take a chunk away from it, they would prefer to do that. But hunting down a big, and I saw the picture, they're hunting down a spotted deer size like that, which is almost like one third bigger than the jackals. And they made it, and it was a great sighting of hunting over there. And then on the other hand, we saw few jackals. One was just sitting on the ground, and two other was coming, or like trying to communicate, but with a ferocious face. You can see this one. You can see the canines out here. So it came like as a threat, but it came close, and then it started nudging or playing. It was very weird, but still the one which was sitting on that track, its tail was down. Its behavior was more submissive towards the other two, but they were kind of in a playful mode, not like attacking mode. So there was an entire communication, sniffing, some push to each other. All these things kept on happening, and both of them were taking a circle around that one. So all these major stuffs kept on happening, and almost covered a 10-minute stories of jackals interacting between each other. And then suddenly few more vehicles came, and they just went into the bush. Especially the jackal hunting down a spotted deer was like super highlight over there. Okay, so with the jackals, once we ended there, we head towards our the last destination, Kaziranga National Park. And over there, we first had our amazing lunch in a lunch box in a beautiful tea estate out there. And then our safari starts over there. And of course, Kaziranga is known for its greater one horn rhino. Imagine when the rhino we saw, which was the closest rhino we saw, it's not only the closest one, but it actually kept coming towards our vehicle. If you see this black thing right on the right hand side, that's our windscreen, like the rear mirror place. So this was kept coming, and then our the park like guides and our natural lodge naturalists over there, they started saying, no, no, you're not coming, it's fine. It seems like they were scolding him for coming so close, and we were just quiet over there. And it came, it pooped. You can see the tail is up, and you can see the fresh tongue. So they poop at the same place again and again. It's a rhino maiden. So over here it pooped, and it came towards us. And if you see, it took a turn this side, then it went and it sprayed their urine. I mean, and of course the guests were laughing so much, and it's there were a lot of other jokes apart from the rhino spraying it. But it was definitely one of the beautiful and best sighting we had. Even in the last season also, we didn't come across this kind of sighting. It's too much fun out there, especially when it started coming towards us. Imagine, it's like a huge um yeah. Okay, so next one, of course, will little more. So this is a female. You can see the size. It's huge, and she does a mock charge sometimes when vehicles, or when she find a little skeptical about your presence when there is her baby around. And we all know, like, it's not even with wildlife, but with human, with the messing with your mothers are really not a good idea. So you can see she was walking by. The calf was moving, and it was in a playful mode. But when there were like other vehicles, we were at a distance. But when there were other vehicles moving, she just turned and she just stopped herself right there, and the baby started coming towards her, back towards her. But look at the posture, that, okay, are you gonna come? Okay, I am going to take the first step. I mean, you can read that. Okay, it's what it's gonna go. So yeah, we had this amazing two sightings, and we all were like quiet, so we were safe. Nothing to worry about, as long as you know you don't seem to be a threat to all these beautiful animals. And then, of course, we got to see these otters, the river otters, and we had actually a few sightings of the river otters, but this one was little closer, and they too kind of having food, having fun, all this cuddly stuff what they do, and snuggle. And also what they do is, the otters, their coat is made out of three different layers of fur. So what they do is, after getting into water, they come out, and on the grass they kind of roll themselves with like a back rub on the grass to take out the dirt and things from there. So they kind of also preened each other, groomed each other, and then it was going back to the water. It's look at the face of it, and it's a beautiful white patch what you see, and a very flat big tail. And yeah, so with the otters, we have this amazing, like in the northeastern part of India, we have one of the like largest density of freshwater turtles, and almost more than 78% are like endangered species, endangered and critically endangered species. So here we have found five species. So here is our Assam roof turtle. This is a spotted pond turtle. We got to see actually a lot this one, and this is the Indian flap shell, and this is a tent turtle. So, and there was another brown roof turtle. So I couldn't find the picture, but yeah, these are the one we have seen. And the funny part is, in Kaziranga, when you see this Assam roof turtle, because the state Kaziranga is situated, is called Assam. So by that, it given the name Assam roof turtle. But just see their basking style. They go on back to back, and it's like a line and ridge for their bask. Okay, and it's yeah, and with that, once we leave that park, we were about to go to another gate, and on the way we started little late, because in winter, um, this particular area where we go to the park, in between we have lots of wildlife sighting, like the rhesus macaque, cap langur, the hula gibbons, then the orange-bellied squirrel, the giant squirrels, and the Assamese macaque. Like in that patch, we can come across all these animals. Not always, but these are the animals which resides there. And here on the side, you can again see there is a tea estate, and we just got down from the vehicle, and you can see that somebody is pointing on the top, and someone is clicking, I think Mark is clicking picture of the gibbons. There was a male and a female on the top of the tree. Top means they live in the top canopy, and almost 80% of their life they live over there. And they are the one and only ape we have in India. So, yeah, they're very special. But at that moment, we spend a very good time. We have seen their activities, their behavior, but unfortunately, we could not hear them calling, which is one of the best thing I like in that part of the forest, because when they call, the forest wakes up. And so we couldn't hear the call. But definitely when we entered the park, and we were looking at a few things, and suddenly we got to hear the gibbon call coming from a far away mountain, but they are so loud, and because of the top canopy you can hear them so clearly. Oh right, I remembered, we were watching a water monitor very far. Yeah, we were focused on a water monitor, but our ear was totally understanding the communication system the gibbons, the hula gibbons have. Okay, with that, we were passing by to where we are moving towards the gate, and suddenly figured out that there are some leaves which were falling. These are the signs in the forest that that should not pass from your eye. So when there are some leaves were falling, of course there were no wind, nothing, and suddenly something is falling off. So you just look up, and when we looked up and we saw that there was a giant squirrel, the black faced giant squirrel. There were two, and one was chasing the other away, like moving, jumping from one branch to another and stuff. Then the other one went, and it came back. You can see how it's just climbing. It came back and just lay down on a thick branch on its belly, and was soaking the sun up. I mean, you can see that after chasing, that relaxation on its face was like mind blowing. So our this one is done, and then was an amazing another great sighting. We were talking about the habitat. Like, Kaziranga has a very different habitat than the Central India Park because of this presence of its grassland, because it's a valley, and the whole entire area is built upon a flood plain. So their vegetation is pretty different, and they have this elephant grass, which is like sometimes it gets 17 to 18 feet, like which can hide an elephant. So we were crossing, and suddenly this buffalo just came out from the grass. We could not even realize. There were no sound, nothing. Thankfully, they are very gentle. No sound, nothing. And we could not see even the tip of the horn. Like how it camouflage or how it was hiding inside the grass. I can understand from a distance, you might not be able to see because of the grass. But when you are very close, it's easy, right? There would be some gap because they have a big body. So the body will actually part those grass. But it was nothing like that. It came out suddenly, and it did nothing. It just stopped, looked at us, didn't move from its place. We didn't move from our place as well. We didn't even move from our seat also. We were just looking at it, at what it does, and it was kind of getting. You can see its nostrils were like flapping up and down. So it was trying, maybe it was trying to get some scent from around. And then it let's looked. Really, the way it was looking, it looked very dumb though. But yes, it make it sure that there is no threat. Then it came on the road, crossed to the other side. There were few more female. It just joined in, and one calf was also there. So it joined that place, and it just went. And at one certain point, it just turned back. Just turned back at us, and then moved away. And yeah, though the place I was talking about is over here, it's little less grass, but the place looks like this: that beautiful hills and the woodland area, and then you have the entire beautiful grassland area. And you know what? This horn, what you're seeing, they can be huge. Sometimes, like almost 5 feet width between the two horn can be there. So they can grow that big. In the picture, it's very difficult to understand that how big the animal is. But yes, it's like that. And the last is our Gangetic dolphin during our boat ride, which is a blind dolphin to all the thing with its sonar and echolocation. And it is also a primitive species of dolphin we have here. And on the boat ride, we kind of keep looking on this water surface, and suddenly we got to hear, oh my, there. And then suddenly somebody saying, oh, there. It's only what initially we only could hear that there, and then there's a big swirl in the water. So these Gangetic dolphin, they're critically endangered, that they don't come out of the water. They just popped up and go back. So this is how most of the sightings go. um so yeah, but everyone, and then few dolphin really came little closer to the boat, not like keeping their mouth like snout up, but just to that pop. They just go up and go down, that's it. Either you see the tail fin or the head with the snout, or the dorsal, a very teeny tiny dorsal, like almost it's like a very small hump, not even a fin. So this is how you see, but I'm glad that everyone could see this species, because again we are losing this dolphins because of the over exploitation of the rivers, and also they sometimes get caught like as a bycatch. They are catching, the fishermen are catching fish, but they get entangled, and they have a very serrated, very sharp teeth, row of teeth. So imagine if the all the threads and everything get entangled, they cannot, first of all, they cannot come up, they cannot breathe, and the second thing is they cannot eat. So yeah, that's the there are other reason for a decline, their population decline. But yes, so that's why I'm very glad that we all got to see it. And of course, whether that was the end of our trip. I mean, the last activity we have done to wipe our to say goodbye to this trip. And after that, the entire trip, this was again the happy face. They're amazing, amazing people, like who loves wildlife so much. So yeah, we had a great time with a lot of stories, and actually there were more, but it's so difficult to fit everything just in an hour. And it's very important, because we had serious birders in this group. After a long time, we did a lot of birding, and it's really amazing. We have found some amazing bird life out there. So yeah, good to go. Thank you for listening to me. Thank you to just walk through again of this Grand India wildlife adventure. I have just finished. So I'm ready to take up questions.
Wonderful, Arpita. That was amazing. I felt like I was there with you and you saw so many incredible things. I know we're close to the hour, so it's hard to put one of these really, really big trips in just a one webinar. But if you have a little bit of time, I would like to ask a few good questions that we had coming in.
Sure,
So,
sure. I would love to
great.
answer. Yeah.
So first, could you just so that we know exactly how long the trip was, what were the trip dates of this particular departure?
So we started on Jan 8. Uh, Jan 8 we started the trip, and then we ended on Jan 20.
Okay, great. Yeah. So
So
that
13
helps
days,
put
yeah.
that in perspective for everyone who might want to know how long the trip was. Next, what is the best time of year if somebody is interested in seeing doles or the wild dogs that you had that fantastic sighting for?
Yeah. Uh so this is a good time to see it, but again it's very difficult. We know the presence of dhole in these parks are there, but because they don't stay at one place for a very longer period of time, so that they can save their pack, so they keep on moving. So it's very difficult to say that if you seeing them now over here, maybe next season, this season you might come across because the pups are really small. But next season they might have changed they could change their denning site. So that can happen. But the park has dhole, and we can come across that can definitely happen.
Okay, great. Yeah, that's very helpful. Got a couple dull questions in here. Did you see any elephants on the trip?
Oh yes, right. Yeah. So we two of our vehicles did see elephants in Kaziranga National Park, but by the time we reached there, we couldn't see it. They were just went into the grass. We couldn't find it. Yeah, you're right. Oh, that. Thank you. Is there anyone who has been to the trip? Yeah, I just yeah, right. We did had a elephant sighting. Right.
Great. Okay, and I think this is,
Oh, even
I guess we've
sorry,
reached.
sorry. One more.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm sorry to. Yeah. So actually, there are two elephant sightings happened. One in Bandhavgarh and one in Kaziranga. Bandhavgarh one was a very short one, as I have heard. And the next one in Kaziranga, they could see it because two vehicles have seen it and then it moved. But the speciality of Bandhavgarh, seeing an elephant in Bandhavgarh, is also just to let the viewers know about it that Bandhavgarh didn't have elephants before. Like from 2018-19, they started migrating over there, and now there is a
Oh.
big herd which is living in Bandhavgarh. But the thing what happens sometime, if there is a big herd are there near the tourism zone, sometime the forest department close that route because the drivers, the guides, they are not used to they don't know how to handle the elephants, because elephants, it's very unpredictable that they can start charging and they don't know what their body languages and everything, so they need more time to understand the animal in that new habitat. Number one, in case of the animal itself, they, from where they have migrated, there are no this jeep safaris and people are looking, and everybody into the forest are not quiet. They would go, they can scream, oh wow, there's an elephant, oh god, this is the, so they, that can disturb them as well. So if it is a big herd and near the tourism route, so sometimes the forest department close the route, and it is not also in our hand. So I mean, there are other routes we can, of course we can go, but this thing happens in Bandhavgarh because people are not prepared enough yet to handle these gentle giants.
That's great perspective. Thank you so much for that very important piece of information. So I think this is the last question that we're going to take today. Could you explain a little bit more about the weather and maybe the daily temperature that you experience from day to day?
So when this time of the year when we went, but I'll just tell you the lowest temperature, how it was. So the lowest we have faced is 9 degrees Celsius. Bro, can you do that to Fahrenheit for me?
Yeah, yeah, let me do that
Nine
real fast. 9 Celsius. The Fahrenheit is around
thirty
48 degrees Fahrenheit is was the
48.
low.
Yes, yes,
Okay, yeah, that's
yeah.
pretty low. Did you encounter any weather?
Uh, encounter any weather like worse weather?
Yeah, like storms or
No,
anything.
no,
Was
no, no,
there?
no, nothing, nothing. It's we don't get like storms in winter and this time of the year. It's very pleasant.
Well, great,
It's
awesome.
cold. It's cold, but it's nice.
Well, thank you so much for all of that. We'll go ahead and end the question portion of the webinar today. So, Arpita, if you have any last closing comments, go ahead with those.
Yeah, thank you so much for tuning in and being here and listening to my stories. And as I always say, that it's always my pleasure. And I hope someday we will see the stories together. And just let me know when you come. Thank you so much and have a great, great day ahead. Thanks,
Yeah,
Brooke.
wonderful. Yes, thank you, Arpedia, for taking the time to present for us today. And I would like to thank everyone who tuned in. Join us tomorrow for our next daily dose of nature. You can check out this week's lineup, including registration links, on our website at nathab.com/webinars. We did record today's presentation, and we will have the replay available on our website soon. With that, I will conclude the webinar. Goodbye, everybody.